Welcome to the I Told You podcast. This is the podcast from Half-Life Crisis and Info in Context. And I am J. Marcelo Vaquero Alvarez, and we're going to be talking about the things that the media and people in leadership are being derelict to actually tell you. So this is not a place for snowflakes. So either if you're on the right or the left side of the political spectrum, this is probably going to hurt your feelings. But the truth is that facts don't care about your feelings, but I do care about the truth, and that is what I'm going to be telling you, because whoever is lying to you, they're manipulating you, and I am here to help you out. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about information operation campaigns and how they cause cognitive dissidence. And the truth is that we are all capable of becoming victims of these scams, so we're going to discuss that today. This episode is likely going to hurt your feelings. It's not just because of you, but because of a loved one that is probably victim of this. I don't know how long the episode is going to go. I'm going to try to keep it as succinct as possible. However, the information campaigns, or what is also known as an IO campaign, they are very complex. They're very abstract. So it is going to be designed to get you into some trap, and you're going to be super happy to be in that trap because you won't really be able to understand that you have ensnared. That is how it works, and that's how I'm going to be teaching you to come out of that. So cognitive dissonance causes people to be stubborn as shit and get into a self-destructive path. Okay, so you probably have met a whole bunch of people who are brainwashed, and they get into a cult, or they get into some type of a gang, or they get into some type of a group, or a toxic relationship, or a bad group of people, whatever it would be the case. And you try to tell them, hey, you are in bad company. This is not good for you. And they're going to be stubborn as shit, and they're not going to be listening because what the fuck do you know? Don't get in my life. I know what I'm doing, and fuck you all. Even if you care about me, yeah, I'm going to do what I want. But eventually, whatever you actually predicted that was going to happen, it happened exactly as you predicted was going to happen. And some are going to own up to the mistake and maybe try to mend their ways. Other ones are going to be a little bit worse because they're going to be jumping from one scam into the other because they haven't actually looked themselves into the mirror and realized that they have been brainwashing. So I'm actually going to be teaching you how to break that cycle. So the most insidious part about brainwashing is that it turns good people into essentially animals. Okay, they just get into this visceral response, get that basic instinct portion that they're just going to do whatever they do in an emotional manner without actually really thinking. And of course, them actually regret their choices. Not at that moment. They're probably going to double down and triple down and quadruple down, and it's just going to keep happening while they are into this bubble of echo chambers and people who are kind of like enabling them to get into the self-destructive path. Now, the people who are actually helping them in that self-destructive path, they could be very well victims themselves, or they could be the ringleaders, depending on who's actually running the show. And both of those things are actually going to be working together. So it always starts by exploiting your biases. We all have biases. Every last one of us. We all have a bias. A bias is a preconceived notion that either you like or dislike something based on your environment. Okay, so for example, it could be a religious bias. It could be a political bias. It could be something like your sports team. You love your sports team and they haven't won a season in years, but don't fucking talk bad about my sports team because that's my sports team. Don't talk about that. That is sacred. Same thing like with religion or politics, but those are normally a lot more visceral because you're an idiot, you're an idiot, you're an idiot, and you keep pointing the finger to everybody else. And when somebody points the finger to you, then, oh no, that is off limits. We can talk about those guys, but not about me. That is sacred. So that is how bias exploitation actually happens. And based on that, it also exploits then your virtues. So in other words, we all have virtues and biases. And if you can turn a virtue into a bias because of the way that makes you feel, or you feel like you're an upstanding citizen, you're going to get weaponized. First, against yourself. The person between your ears is going to be the first victim to fall from that. And he's going to start creating that cognitive dissonance because you cannot be wrong. My mom, my dad, my uncle Timmy, and the pastor, and the teachers, and everybody who I trust, they cannot all be wrong, right? It has to be me. I cannot be having those doubts. Let me get back into my echo chamber because that is the correct thing to do. So let me tell you actually how it happened, okay? So have you ever been mad? Okay, and I'm not talking about angry, that is like super mad, but we're talking about furious rage, like furious when you would have done something that otherwise you would have maybe regretted doing whatever you were going to be doing. Okay, maybe commit an action that was incredibly atrocious because you were so furious at that moment. And you just felt that, yeah, you need to give that retribution just at that moment. But something or somebody stopped you from doing something that you would regret. And maybe that was even yourself. It could have been maybe that you knew better and then you understood about the implication that it happened, or you found your humanity not to do something that would be atrocious. But what about if that it was not the case? And when you had this furious rage, it was not only condoned, but it was celebrated and rewarded. Instead of somebody stopping you from doing something that would be a crime or an atrocity, now you got rewarded. And it was framed as though it was morally superior. That happens. We saw that in Germany with the Nazis, how they were killing other people. They were rationalizing that they were subhuman and not even to feel pain. In fact, the methods that they had for killing and eliminating people were not to spare the suffering of the person that were killing, but to spare the suffering of the person that was killing them with impunity. Now think about that for a moment, okay? Because that is actually how it starts building into this division narrative that you hear from propagandists. You might not hear, you might not be hearing at first saying, okay, I'm going to start killing people right away. It's not how it's going to start. It's going to build to that. It might take a long time for some people. It might take a very short time for other people. It depends on what proclivity a person has, either for violence or how many other biases already existed and how these have been exploited. So it's going to be depending on really the person and the environment and what it has been condoned, what has been normalized. That's why a lot of times you see many regimes that are trying to topple another country. They wait a few years, maybe 10, 15 years, give us some time for those young minds who are still very malleable. They don't really understand what's going on, to evolve a little bit into this normalized level of dehumanization, to see the other people as lesser human, or seeing other people as though they are not worthy of having the same equal rights, or whatever it is that they want to negate another group of people. That is going to happen over time, and then it's going to get normalized. That's the problem. Okay, it starts first normalizing the bizarre, and then it starts normalizing the unacceptable, and then whoever wants to control you, they're going to be doubling down and tripling down. Instead of owning up to a mistake, they're just going to try to use it as I don't know, like a sick burn, or they're going to try to, like, I own the leaves, or I own this other group, or whatever. That is a slippery slope, and people don't get to realize that until it's too late, because as I told you several times, a trap is designed to snare you with ease. So you're not really going to realize that. And let's do a really quick thought experiment. Just watch a Seinfeld episode if you haven't watched it for a little while. It is in Netflix, I think. Just go there and see how the humor in the 90s has changed a lot. Not even to the 2020s, but just even to the 2000s, and see how that is been changing. Some things that would have not been acceptable even a couple of years ago, they were not just acceptable, but they were absolutely celebrated back in those years. And that continues to morph. But it's supposed to change. It's supposed to get better, because the more that we learn more about people, then the less ignorant we become about the reality. We don't see others as strangers, not just as a punchline. We see them as people. And I'm not talking about this, okay, you're being woke or blah, blah, blah. First off, woke means that you are awake and paying attention. Okay, so if that is the case, okay, cool. Call fucking woke. Okay, good. Yeah, that's what it means. If it means that I'm paying attention, yes, then yeah, call me woke all you want. Now, if you think that all the other shit that doesn't make sense is supposed to be condoned, for example, talking shit about people or being a racist, and then if somebody says a racist joke and you call them out and say, oh, you're being woke on that? Well, who's the asshole? Think about that. Of course, some people, they think that the racist is the person who should be celebrated. And that is really unfortunate, because that has been going on throughout many generations before us. And although it was kind of like hidden in the polite society, if that makes sense, it existed. and it continued to be this catalyst that has been opening up in an exuberant manner, and this is incredibly dangerous. But we'll talk about racism in a different podcast episode because it's a whole topic on its own. However, for the IO process, the information operation campaigns process, racism is going to be a huge catalyst because people who don't understand how another culture works, they might be fearing them, or they might be maybe in some instances, believe it or not, jealous of them because they say, oh, they have other options that I don't get in my race, but that race gets that option. They get this help that I don't get. What you don't fucking realize is that they were disenfranchised for a long time. Now it's actually trying to put the playing field that is going to be equal for everybody to have the same opportunities that they were negated. It's not that you didn't have those opportunities. Those opportunities are supposed to happen for everybody. It just makes a lot more sense. But the problem is that some people who have a different skin tone, it just gets a little bit more into their head that say, hey, how's that person with an accent, or how's that person that has a slightly different color skin than mine have that nice house when my house is a fucking shithole? So if my house is a shithole and I look in a different shade of skin, I deserve better and they deserve less. That's normally what happens. You might not realize it, but you need to start catching yourself to see if that is the case. Now, the fact is that you might not really understand how is that person actually work to get into that position. And I'm going to give you a really quick example. Kamala Harris, okay, you like her or you don't like her. She had a trifecta that a lot of prejudiced people didn't like her. She is a highly educated person. She's a woman of color who happened to have parents who were born somewhere else. So she had, that trifecta. And a lot of people, they couldn't see past that. They call this DEI. Okay, this diversity, inclusion, bullshit, that it shouldn't be like that because she doesn't deserve. Yes, she deserves that because she worked for that. Much like anybody else who has done the same things would have pretty much deserved the same thing. The problem is that some people don't get to see past her skin color. They don't get past the way that she is. And they even were trying to attack her laugh. I mean, how fucking bad your argument has to be that you are attacking somebody's joy. It's just fucking insane. But it is because in their mind say, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. I deserve that point. And it makes them really angry. And it starts getting them really heated inside, and it simmers and it simmers. And that's how the information operations campaign work. They work in that anger, but it doesn't make it explosive right away. It starts simmering just so it starts getting more and more and more and more and more tense. And whenever they call you to do something, then you're going to be, oh yeah, about fucking time. I've been incredibly patient with this bullshit and I'm going to be doing something about it. And that is normally what happens. You have to really understand that is how the IO campaigns, it targets different biases and it groups people together because not everybody is going to be having like the same type of level of biases. So let's say, for example, some of the people who happen to be MAGA, they happen to be neo-Nazis because we just saw a whole bunch of footage of people in Ohio walking around with fucking black clothes and masks and swastika flags. We see in a lot of Trump rallies, people actually carrying fucking swastika flags. It's Trump, and they have a fucking Nazi sign, okay? That is not every MAGA. Yeah, a lot of them, they would be rightfully saying, well, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, those guys don't represent me. But they put them in certain groups, okay? They have different biases, and there's going to be a common denominator. So they're going to find that common denominator, and then they're going to be pushing that to everybody else. So how does that work? Okay, so it starts with lying, okay? This is the thing. You have to realize every propagandist is always going to redact the truth. They're never going to be telling you the full story. It's not convenient to them. The moment that you realize that the truth is what it is, they're going to walk away. Much like nobody's going to be swindling you or scamming you and say, hey, I'm going to scam you, so you just open your wallet and give me your money, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. No, they're going to frame it in a different way. Oh, this is an NFT, it's like a limited edition, and if you buy like a whole bunch of NFTs, I'm going to be sending you a little piece of my suit that is going to be signed by me personally, or by my fucking shoes, or by my little fucking watches that are supposed to be really exclusive, and they only cost $100,000. So yeah, start thinking about that. Because that happens. If somebody is going to swindle you, who do you think is going to be their cash cow? Their followers. Their followers. That is who's going to be their first cash cow. Everybody else who's going to get some of the most expensive trinkets that their followers cannot afford. What do you think that they're actually buying for that? Placement and access. I told you that in a previous episode. Placement and access. That's what they're actually buying. So if you see a figure that is selling something that is incredibly expensive, it's not for the fucking followers. It's for the people who need placement and access so they can push their fucking agenda. That is what it is. Okay. If you didn't fucking realize that, okay, now you realize it, hopefully, unless you're too fucking dumb to really open your eyes. But it's always going to be starting first with a very well crafted lie. Okay. So this is the thing. When something is true, it doesn't matter how fucking complex the situation is, or how many layers you have, or how many F-bombs you throw, or how many fucking people are involved, or how many times you have to be looking at different sources, or how many timelines are going to be merging. Everything is going to match automatically. No matter how, it's going to match automatically. All the records, all the expenses, all the time frames, everything is going to match automatically. With a lie, it's very different. It doesn't matter how well crafted a lie is. It doesn't matter how much attention they put into this lie. Something is going to get left out. The math is not going to add up. Simple. It's never going to add up. And what that's going to be creating is one or two things. The first thing is because the person, the people who are actually being lied to, they're going to go, I don't want to be told that I'm fucking stupid, because nobody likes to be told that they're fucking stupid. Yeah, welcome to the fucking real world. No, nobody likes that. But what they do happen? What will happen is that they are going to get super angry. First at themselves, they just don't realize that they're angry at themselves. So the first thing is going to be trying to blame somebody else. It couldn't be me. When somebody scams you, you're not going to be like, oh, fuck, they just look at me and like I'm a fucking idiot and I just like fell into the trap. No. They were the thieves. They were the other person. Somebody else told me something wrong. It was not my fault. It can never be my fault. That is going to be the first reaction that happens. So people are going to be doubling down. They're going to go back into their echo chamber where everybody else say, oh, no, that was not a scam. No, that was fine. And they're going to try to recycle all those fucking talking points that they gave them, that they're the size of a bumper sticker. So they feel really smart because now they can regurgitate a whole bunch of really easy to remember talking points. But they are not actual facts. They're talking points. Talking points and facts are two very different things. So at first, whenever they're trying to get people into the mix, the lies are going to be very well crafted. They're actually going to be thinking about many different areas. It's kind of like a wide net. They're going to be trying to cast as many people as possible. And then they're going to see who are the ones that are going to be jumping out of that net because they're fucking realizing who are going to be the stupid people who are going to not just staying in the net, but fucking jumping inside that net. Okay. So that is how they get to see and measure the gullibility. Who is going to be very gullible in this particular bias and who's going to be very gullible in that particular bias. And how you see that? Through wedge issues, okay? It doesn't matter. You choose it. Save the woman, save the planet, climate change, flat earth, whatever, the fuck, that they want to be talking about that. They're going to be seeing, okay, which group of people are these fucking stupid? And let's see their comment section. Let's see what they're actually talking about. Let's see what their arguments are. And if their arguments are fucking stupid, they're going to prop them up. Why? Because there's another fucking stupid group of people who are going to pretty much agree with that and is going to resonate with them. And that's why you see a whole bunch of people who have huge, gigantic clouds are fucking idiots, but they have a huge cloud. And then people who actually make sense, they are going to curtail their cloud. They're not going to actually let them give the information out there because that is inconvenient to them. Yeah, it's fucking not rocket science. That's what happens. What sells more? Controversy. People want to see somebody fucking that is controversial out there. Maybe if you see a person of a particular race that is talking shit about their own race, oh yeah, they're going to get clout. They're going to put them up there in the front because that is very convenient for the propaganda. But as these lies start to become sloppier, because pretty much what they're going to be saying is, okay, if this person is really naive and I set a certain baseline and they believe shit that is well below that baseline, why the fuck are they going to be working harder in trying to create a lie that is even credible? Since they're going to be obedient no matter how much fucking you move the goalpost, so they are going to keep lowering that lie. They're going to make it stupider and stupider and stupider. And some people are just going to fucking fall down for that, and they're going to be, oh yeah, it's really good. Hey, didn't you hear your boy said this thing that is contradicting everything that you're arguing for? Oh no, 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 he said something different. No, no, that's not what happened. And fucking the gaslighting starts first occurring with a person between their own fucking ears. And it's designed to be that way. As I say, it's a trap. It's bring it back because now they know that they're actually going to double down, because the moment that they actually get confronted with the truth, they're going to go and say, I am, that is not how it is. It cannot be me. I cannot be the one that is wrong. You have to be wrong. You, motherfucker, you have to be the wrong. So they're going to be attacking the person who is actually trying to save them from the hole that they're actually falling themselves into. It doesn't matter, let's use the toxic relationship example. How many people have been in a very toxic relationship and everybody say, hey, this motherfucker is lying to you. This motherfucker is stealing from you. This motherfucker is cheating on you. You just cut this motherfucker like fucking somebody else, and you go, no, I love this person. You don't get to tell me what I'm going to be doing with my life. Even though you've been my friend and been taking care of me for fucking years, yeah, you probably have an ulterior motive to separate me from the love of my life, whom I fucking love so much. And what is going to happen? They're going to fuck you up. You're going to find the motherfuckers just like fucking balls deep in some other person. And then you're going to be, oh, that's what happened. And in some instances, you might even fucking forgive them a couple of times because you just cannot come to the realization that you could also be wrong. Okay? If you're wrong, that doesn't make you stupid. That makes you human. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect in the world. If you make a mistake, just fucking know not to that. But listen to the people who are actually trying to help you. There's probably a fucking reason why they're trying to help you. And how do you know they're helping you? They are not being divisive. They're actually trying to give you resources for you to look outside your own bubble. If they're not telling you to look outside your bubble and say like, no, just listen to me and don't listen to anybody else, they're lying to you. They have something to hide. Period. It's really that fucking easy. As scammers, I say, he's not going to be telling you, hey, go do some research into independent media. No, they're going to be giving you a whole bunch of links that they're about their own shit. So you hopefully are going to be listening to that stuff in just that point. You have to understand these things, okay? It's very important for you to understand. So it is a lot like advertising, like brand loyalty. So even if it is not good, for you, then you just know it, okay? So, okay, let's say that you have a favorite brand of soda, or a favorite brand of chips, or a favorite brand of whatever, okay? There might be another brand that actually is better, superior, is even cheaper. But no, I like my brand, that's what I like. And then when you have a blind test somewhere else, then you taste it, say, oh shit, this is a lot better than the other stuff that I have. Yeah, that's the brand that you didn't fucking want to taste for whatever reason. No, that's the other brand that you were talking shit about because you didn't actually trust it. So that's what I'm talking about, is those biases. Sometimes you need to be leaving your own little bubble, look outside and really understand what they are trying to tell you, the people who are trying to help you, and what are the people who are swindling you, trying to make you believe. So even if it is not good, but do you know it? Do you know if it is good or not? Okay, because it might actually be very well that you have a favorite brand because you like the taste, even if it is a little bit more expensive, or maybe you like how it works because it is what you enjoy. Okay, and if you can afford it, okay, very well. Okay, so yeah, that is a good choice. It's an educated choice. My point is, a lot of times people don't actually want to give it a chance to understand something that is outside the little bubble. So in advertising, that's actually kind of how it works. They put some shit in front of you, and normally is whoever listens, the first thing that they listen to, that's what they're going to be believing, regardless of whatever you actually tell them. So it takes a long time to deprogram a person if they have been indoctrinated with that. And also how many times you actually get to hear something. It takes about 25 times to do something in order to make or break a habit. Okay, so it's not going to be an easy process, and for some people it's going to be a lot harder. So for example, if you have a problem with your faith and you've been wavering about whatever religion that you have and you want to leave it, it's probably going to take you years before you actually come to terms to say, okay, yeah, maybe that particular religion was a cult and they was just like fucking taking advantage of me. And maybe when the pastor was fucking my wife, it should have been a wake up call, but he said that it wasn't the name of God. So yeah, I just fucking let it be because God, or whatever, the fucking thing happens. And yeah, by the way, cults like that do exist. So hopefully you haven't been one of those, but I have met people who actually been in that. So the other thing, the propagandists are going to do, they're going to be also exploit your anger, and try to vindicate you. So anger is a very powerful level of currency, because if you get angry, the first thing that goes is your fucking rationality. Okay, so like your reasoning and like critical thinking, fucking gone. First thing, okay, and your intellectual honesty that's supposed to be going with the critical thinking, even farther behind. You're not even want to see it, because now you just want to get that vindication. You just want to be right, and that's one of the things that happen, for example, with toxic masculinity. They don't even just want to be right. They want to humiliate the other person. So even if the other person goes and owns up, oh shit, yeah, you were correct about that. They're going to try to pry it more, because it's not about them being correct. It's about them trying to humiliate you. It's about them being the superior one. They don't really understand what the superiority portion is. They don't really understand what it is. They think that superiority is if you are just being the boss of somebody else. They don't really understand that true superiority of character means fortitude of character. That means that you actually understand what you're actually talking about. And sometimes you're going to have to call some people on their bullshit, especially if they don't really understand what they're doing. So hopefully the fucking wheels are going to start turning in their head. But the problem is that they make you dumber while they make you feel smart. That's how propaganda works. They give you all these talking points. They give you all this easy to remember shit. They give you all these little clues. Okay, it's kind of like a kid's show. Okay, that they fucking give you little clues, and you go like, "Oh, that's the fucking scissors. Oh, that's the fucking door. Oh, that's the fucking thing." And you think that you actually have fucking solved like a incredibly, strangely complex riddle, but no, you didn't fucking resolve any of that. It was fucking put in front of your fucking eyes for you to find it, but make you feel like you're very smart. But then they condense that information smaller and smaller and smaller. So then if you read a fucking 3-line meme, that's too much for you. Yeah, I cannot concentrate with that. That's too much for me to do that. They're making you dumber, because if you're dumber, you're more compliant. Because then you're going to have the proclivity to say, okay, boss, what else do I need to listen to? I don't know how to fight this battle, so let me just listen to what the talking head is saying, so I can repeat and regurgitate those talking points and own those fucking lips and own those fucking rhinos and own those fucking whoever the fuck I don't like. In the case of MAGA, but like similar things, happen in other countries and really around the world. So this is a tactic that, yeah, it can affect people in the political spectrum, but it really can be used for anything. But remember, they're going to be easy to remember slogans and talking points, so they're going to Gish Gallop. Gish Gallop means that you're going to be like fucking sending a whole bunch of fucking talking points. A lot of them that are not even related to one another, just kind of like talking like in rapid succession, and it's going to be like as notes snake oil salesman is going to be talking very fast, and it's going to be telling you many things that you're not going to be able to understand, and, you're not going to be able to, and by the time that you're actually trying to figure out what the fuck they're actually saying, they have already bamboozled you in so many fucking ways that you'll go, okay, they sound like they actually know what they're talking about. But the difference is that they're going to tell you, yeah, don't listen to anybody else, just listen to me. Just listen to me. Don't do your research. Now, this is what I'm actually going to be telling you, and I'm going to be very clear as far as that. The media, it is actually being derelict and actually helping into that process. And I told you in the very first episode why. It's because they rely on eyeballs, so they can buy advertisement, so they can stay on the air, so they can remain in business. Okay? There's a business model for that. Same thing with independent media personalities. If they lose clicks, they lose money, they don't fucking eat. Okay, so they are going to have to be playing certain ball games just to be able to survive. And they'll admit to that. A lot of them say, well, I even have to be making some titles, they're kind of like hyperbolic, otherwise, I don't get clicks and then I don't fucking get to be in the air. So you have to remember, okay, that there's a balance as far as what is actually happening. What I'm telling you is I am telling you to think for yourself, but with sources. Think for yourself, but understand what you're talking about. If it is too easy to understand, chances are that you fucking lost something. Okay, you didn't actually pay attention to a different part. And A lot of time, people who, when they get challenged and something that is going to hurt their feelings, the first thing that they're going to be doing, the natural response, so when they get finally attacked, because they're very used to going to people's social media and start, like attacking them and telling them, that they're stupid, whatever. I mean, if you call them out, oh, fuck, they're not expecting that. Yeah, they get, oh, shit. They actually can bite back, and they're actually making me use my brain, and that is going to hurt. So what is the first thing that they're going to do? I've seen that fucking hundreds of times. Whenever I put a particular comment and somebody particular for MAGA, starts, talking something shit, the first thing that they do is a laugh emoji. Laugh emoji. Yeah, that's not a compelling argument, motherfucker. What the fuck are you laughing about? It's because, you know why I'm laughing? It's because that's not what my talking points were telling me to laugh about. I have a whole bunch of talking points, and that contradicts my talking points. Yeah, you're really laughing at yourself, motherfucker. That's what's going to happen. The next thing that's going to happen is the moment that you actually call them up on that, they're going to insult you. Yeah, they're going to have someone attack. There's going to be an insult. And then if you just continue doing that, then they're fucking going to run away. And normally that's how it happens. You can actually go to my social media accounts, and see, when somebody does the same thing. Starts with a fucking laughing emoji, then start doing something. And when I call them up on that shit, then go to start really getting angry. And then I really just fucking answer for my own fucking amusement as I'm laughing out loud at their fucking ass. Yes. And I tell them just that. I laughed at their fucking dumb ass because they have fucking winter temperature fucking IQs. And I don't have a problem telling them that, because I am the person who's actually telling them not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear. Because chances are that the same people who they feel so brazen to be talking in my fucking timeline uninvited, they feel really brazen to be talking to their families, to their kids, to their coworkers, or whoever it is, and nobody is actually fucking challenging them. Everybody says, oh, yeah, this person, yeah, who looks very patriotic and is actually running on a fucking little motorcycle saying fucking American MAGA. Yeah, I'm not going to deal with that motherfucker because, then, that let them be in their crazy world. Well, if they come into my timeline and they comment something that is stupid, I'm fucking going to call them up on that. And that's what I do. And yeah, I'm not going to go out of my way to comment on a fucking MAGA page about some shit that I don't agree with. Okay, they live in their own fucking echo chamber. But if I comment on something that it's in a particular social media site or anything else that I'm doing, and somebody comes and start giving me shit, yeah, I'm fucking gonna light you up. And you better be ready to actually have a fucking solid argument, because that's the first thing that I'm going to tell you. If your argument is fucking invalid, I'm going to say, your argument is fucking invalid. And I'm going to tell you fucking why. And I'm going to make you feel fucking stupid because you fucking deserve it. But now the truth is that only you can free yourself from that if you're that stupid person, okay? You can help others kind of like understand, what's actually going on. But they have to make the decision on their own to see if they're going to fucking wake up or not. And chances are that they're not going to be waking up, okay? But what I do, I plant a seed. Sometimes I don't call them stupid to the face, and unless they start fucking pushing too much, or if they call me stupid. If they fucking insult me, yeah, I'm fucking going to retaliate, and I'm going to fucking tell them that they're fucking stupid, okay? And you can see that, okay? It is going to have a certain way, to escalate. I'm normally going to de-escalate, but if they escalate, I'm going to fucking put them on their place. That's the way that's going to be. So if you even feel that way, okay, you don't need to be arguing with some people. Well, the problem is that a lot of people, they get to normalize the indefensible because they don't get challenged. They don't get challenged in the merits. They're just fed different talking points. And normally what they're going to say, hey, everybody from the left, typical left things. Like, yeah, motherfucker, first off, I'm not on the left. I'm an independent. So, yeah, your fucking argument is invalid right from over there. You don't really fucking understand what I'm saying. And if I'm already having fucking days worth of content of shit that I actually know what I'm talking about, is somebody who has a fucking room temperature IQ calls me stupid, that is not the burn that they think there is. I am going to actually tell them, yeah, you're fucking stupid. You have fucking room temperature IQ. I don't care about your fucking opinion, but I'm teaching you something because I'm the only fucking friend that you have right now, like it or not, even if you don't fucking realize it. But, you might have been one of those people at some point, because, yeah, I have actually have deconverted a whole bunch of people who were fucking stupid, and they used to try to call me on bullshit. And I just pretty much, like, the first thing I did is I just shocked them the moment and said, oh, fuck, you actually are going to be challenging me on this thing? Yeah, I'm going to challenge you. I didn't invite you to this conversation. You brought it in. If you fucking come here, then you better fucking know what the fuck you're talking about. So normally what they do that, is because they have their heads so wished up their own ass that they tend to forget who they are. Okay, so what I trying to do is actually help them remember who they are. Some were assholes their whole life, and that's why they just wedged themselves in, like so far deep, and it's really hard, to get them over there. And of course, even after you pull their head out of their ass, they're still going to be talking shit because that's what they have been consuming, but with their head up the column for such a fucking long time. After all, they've been just wedged in the same echo chamber. That's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be kicking and screaming, and that's normal. I mean, I've seen that fucking a whole bunch of times. A lot of times when I argue with some people on some of that shit, I'm actually trying to help them. They don't fucking realize that. Yes, I do it for my own amusement in a way because I just cannot fucking help the entire world. But if they're already engaging with me a couple of times, it's because they are wavering about something. They have been instructed to actually go after me and try to tell me something that they're trying to move it. They're not really trying to convince me. They're trying to convince themselves. They're not going to convince me because I know better than fucking what they're doing. And some people, they actually have come out to the realization. They say, you know what? Yeah, when you lit me up and I tried to prove you wrong and fucking I had nightmares and shit, but you were correct. And thank you, So some actually the thing. So yeah. So for what it's worth, I'm their only fucking friend that actually was telling them not what they needed to hear, but what they had to hear. Okay, so yeah, they needed to hear and they had to hear it because nobody was telling them that. But this is not an overnight process, so it can be highly effective. But you have to be patient, but you have to be firm. So don't let somebody fucking railroad you, because if you do that, it's going to be over. That's exactly what they want. They want that vindication. Say, yeah, my talking points work. No, their fucking talking points don't work, and they're going to be fucking up repeatedly. So even though you're going to see them actually doing some progress, they're fucking going to fall down that staircase a couple of times, and they're going to roll over, and it's going to be a fucking mess a couple of times. So they're going to be really, really angry before they get better. So, as I was telling you, the information operation campaigns, they're designed to hit those biases, to exploit the biases, to exploit the virtues. Anything that makes you a good person or a bad person, that is going to be exploited. But it's also going to be hitting the media. It's going to be hitting the media several steps ahead. So instead of them be able to keep up with the reality, they're going to be reactive. They're going to be reacting. Oh shit, can you believe they fucking did that? Can you believe they fucking did that? Yeah, it's fucking telegraphed. It's not fucking rocket science. It's cause and effect. They're telling you exactly what's going to happen, even if they are not necessarily overt about that, but there's always going to be indicators. How do you know if it is a divisive media? How do you know that they're actually bad? I told you, and it's worth repeating. If they're hiding something from you. Let me give you an example. The new Attorney General nomination for Trump. They just voted through party lines not to release the report that it actually is investigating if he committed a statutory rape and he trafficked minors through state lines. There's apparently all kinds of information, and this report would be very important, especially if you're going to be confirming an appointment before they hold the highest office in the land as far as law enforcement. Wouldn't you want to know? No. If you actually understand this, then should be your train of thought. Okay, maybe Matt Gaetz is innocent. Show the motherfucking report. Show the fucking report and put it to rest. Say, yeah, you see what the report says? Nothing. Yeah, motherfucker, nothing. It was nothing there. Here, vindication. Yeah, plaster fucking every wall in the goddamn planet to show that the Attorney General of the USA was not a fucking pedophile. Show it. Why are they hiding it? Is it because maybe there's something that they don't want people to see? But they want you to believe it. They want you to believe it. Oh, yeah, no, just listen to us. He said that he didn't do it. That should be enough. Yep, he resigned from Congress. So, yeah, the ethics report, it cannot be released anymore, even though there's precedent that had actually happened. And this person, by the way, is going to be competing for one of the highest cabinet positions in the fucking country. Two, particularly, be in direct conflict of interest against these allegations. So why don't you show what the real allegations are? So in an IO campaign, they're going to say, yeah, just listen to our talking heads. Yeah, there's none of your business. Nothing to see here. But the reality, if somebody actually cares about you, say, yeah, show it. Show it. Yeah, vindication. Vindicate this motherfucker. Okay, yeah, show it. He didn't commit the rapes. He didn't fucking have Red Bull and Viagra orgies. Show it. That's the allegation. Why don't you show it? Now you hopefully understand how IO campaigns work. All right, so I've been writing about this thing for a long time. Okay, so you have my books, Authoritarianism and Propaganda, The Puppet Master Tools, and Woke and Proud, The Charlatan's Inconvenience. And these are non-fiction, thought-provoking books that actually teach you to understand how propaganda works and how you can flip it on your side. Yeah, it might not be an easy read for some people because, it is going to probably make you feel like you've been taken for a ride. But the difference is that in order for you to move away from a problematic situation in your life, you have to be able to raise above it. Okay. You have to understand what you fucked up before you can fix it. Does that make sense? Okay. So if your car breaks down, before you drive it, you have to know what the fuck's wrong with the car, fix that, and then fucking drive it. Okay. Does that make sense? Same thing with life. And of course, I write a whole bunch of that in my articles, www.halflifecrisis.com, and you can go to www.infoincontext.com, where I'm actually talking about how to defeat authoritarian propagandists. These are free resources. I make this for you guys, okay? I know this shit. I need you guys to understand it because we are all in this thing together, like it or not. If it was not affecting our lives, fuck it, I would be doing anything else except this. But since we're in this compressed timeline and the media has been derelict to do anything about that, that's what I'm doing. So my next topic is we're going to talking a little bit more about this topic. Okay, get a little bit deeper into that. So you can understand, why do you admire those who treat you like an idiot? Because those who treat you like an idiot, you might not realize it because they're going to be super nice to you and you're going to feel like you're very happy. Okay, that's what school group mentality. You're in that rally and everybody's wearing the same fucking merch and everybody's fucking laughing. Everybody's chanting the same shit, okay? But you don't realize that they're actually backstabbing you while they are smiling at your face. Because why? You are their cash cow. You're the muscle. You're the useful fools. And that, of course, goes hand in hand with cognitive dissidence because if you start feeling that, okay, something is wrong, the first thing that you're going to be doing, instead of owning up to the mistakes, human natures, go back to the echo chamber. Okay, everybody else says, this cannot be wrong. I couldn't be the fucking idiot, right? Somebody else has to be the idiot. Maybe it's those fucking liberals. Maybe it's those fucking rhinos. Or somebody else is. But it cannot be me. It cannot be me. So that's how it happens. Those shoddy lies are a sign that they do not respect your intelligence, okay? When you see the bar going down and lower and lower and lower and lower, they are calling you a moron to your face while they are smiling at you. They're calling you, yeah, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah, you believe stupid lies. Yeah, let me give you fucking even a shot of your life because your level of intelligence is like that, not fucking smart. So why am I going to fucking even waste my time trying to give you a good lie when I can give you a shoddy lie and you're fucking going to eat it up and you're going to repeat it and you're going to fight with other motherfuckers all over fucking social media or wherever the fucking you see it in the town square to repeat all those fucking talking points that are a demonstrable lie. Yeah, they're laughing at your face. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow's episode, it will hurt. But remember, propagandists, they don't care about you. I do. I'm going to teach you how to flip propaganda on its head. Pretty much while most everybody else in the media keep talking themselves in a corner. And that is the reality. But we're going to fix this, hopefully together. I'm here on your side. Please at least help me share this thing. I don't do this for clicks. I'm doing this as a time capsule. But if we can actually make a difference together, that probably would be better for all of us. All right, take care, guys. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye.